Ta-da! Go fuck yourself.
Okay, a quick whistle stop tour of the overall exhaust system, and I'll just quickly go through the order in which I took it apart and the sockets and whatever that you'll need. I started with this, a 212mm on these springs, and then I put a lever in here to separate the back box section, the midsection. I then moved to these, it's 3 14mm nuts on the back of this flange. Then I moved down to this end, and looking back up into the engine, there's a long extension bar to get onto these. Again, same as at the back, 12mm. I strongly recommend that you use a 6-sided hexagonal socket, and you don't use a multi-point, because you'll probably round it off. Once I've done that, I remove most of the fasteners. Come on, gimbal, catch up. So yeah, once I've done that, I remove the fasteners from here. They're all 14mm again. That is a bolt, that is a bolt, that is a bolt, that is a nut, and that is a nut. Whilst you're after that, I took these out. These are 12mm on the top. So on the top each round, you've got 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and number 4 here. As I said before, 12mm. You've got a bracket on the bottom. This bolts to the back of your engine. They're all 14mm. You have to remove that before your header will be free. I then flipped the whole manifold upside down in the engine bay, and I used my rattle gun to get onto that bolt and the other 2 that are underneath. I'll try and show you them if I can. So they're under there, look. So you've got 1, 2, 3 on the bottom heat shield. Then you can wiggle this heat shield out, and that leaves you with this free, and you'll be able to pull that from the bottom of your engine. So there you have it, guys, front to back. 12 and 14mm sockets will pretty much do the whole job. Ooh, it's a bit jerky. Yeah, 12 and 14mm sockets will do the whole job. It looks a bit like a weird snake. Cool.
Okay guys, we are going to start here on this joint here for the back box and the middle section. They look like they're a bit rusty, don't they? So they'll probably snap. We'll see how we go. I bought some new impact sockets yesterday. So without further ado, let's go get them and the gun and rattle this fucker off. Okay, here's a 12mm. What the? They're welded together. That comes apart there, right? Surely. Oh, if I can see about that. I'll come back to the exhaust flange in a minute. Pop this exhaust end off the end of this. You can get a tool for that, but yeah, that's off. And then there's one on the other side and a couple of others. So you've got the one up there, hopefully you can see that, so I've taken that off. We've got the one here, as I showed you earlier, it's already left the chat. I don't need to worry about that. But yeah, that's this one. Okay guys, I didn't manage to get that on camera, but basically I just used a little bar in here and popped it like that. You see the gasket there is absolutely toast. So yeah, if I do refit this exhaust at any point, it's going to need a new gasket, that's for sure. Anyway, I'll worry about that later. Let's get the rest of it off, shall we? This fitting I wasn't planning on undoing. I was hoping to leave it connected, but it looks like it's going to have to come off because you can't get this section over the rear beam. That goddamn rear beam, once again. Yeah, you can't get the exhaust out because you've not got enough space. We'll have a go. Nearly died. Bye bye, my lover. You're a filthy whore. I'm Whore Island. So, just while I'm down here, you can see, hopefully you can see it there anyway. There's two bolts that basically I've taken out. I don't know how well this is going to show. I'm struggling for light. Try and hold it. So yeah, you can probably see. Can you see? I don't know what you can see, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, there's a bolt hole there. I had to take that out. A couple of long 1/2 inch extension bars, a rattle gun, and then there's one up there as well that you may or may not be able to make out. I apologise if you can't see it. It's very difficult to get angled under the car. So essentially that's loose now. Right guys, I'm just going to try and wrestle this this section out if I can. I don't want this coming down too fast and smashing the oxygen sensors. Hello! Got him. Heat shield. So far, don't want to jinx myself, but I haven't snapped a single bolt. I've got to get the manifold off head yet, so might spoke too soon. Alright, cool. Let's have a little look at what we are dealing with. Looking back up to the exhaust collector there. Hopefully you can see this. It's the GoPro's just decided to turn the screen off. So yeah, those bolts I was trying to show you earlier, obviously that one and that one there. They have to come off, and then you can wiggle the cap and the rest of the manifold off, or the bottom section anyway. So I'm pretty much finished under the car for now. I think I might have to come and get some heat shield bolts there. I don't know if you can see, there's one on that side. I'm guessing there's one on the other side as well. I might try and show you them. Yeah. No, there's one on the side there. So I might have to take them off. Yeah. Okay, a little update on the removal. So the heat shield on the back of the manifold has proven to be a bit of a bastard. That's this little bugger here. So the top two bolts that I showed you earlier are easy to take out. There's one down the right hand side at the bottom. Very difficult to show you on the camera because of the light. That's easier to tackle from underneath the car. But then there's another one on the left hand side here at the bottom, which is down there. I don't know if you can see my fingers pointing. Hello. Anyway, we'll get the light. Let's see if we can get the light. So, try to get the camera down there. On the end of that heat shield, you'll see there's a hole. And there's obviously a bolt that goes through there. Absolute bastard to get to. But yeah, again, it's out. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to take that heat shield out without wrecking it. So
we'll just have to see how that goes. So I'll keep you updated, guys, and keep carrying on. Okay, so now it's just a 14mm on the back of the manifold. They are tight. Okay. Either that's the stud or that might be the stud coming out. It is what it is. Anyway, this is just nuts and bolts now, so just take all the nuts off the back and the bolts out. Looks like 14mm. Alright, I'll crack on with that and I'll come back to you shortly. Alright then, YouTube, I suppose I better do a bit of a wrap up from the end of day one. So I've been working on the car most of today, removing the old exhaust, as you've seen in some of the footage already. Where have I got to? Well, everything's, the old rear section's off, the mid section's off, cat's off. The only thing that remains now is just the top of the header. So obviously this has got to come off. There's 5 bolts in that. Well, I think actually there's 3 bolts and 2 nuts. They've been fighting me all afternoon, sadly, and access is pretty difficult. The one that I've got left is the one that sits just under the VTEC solenoid. So there's one under there, like you won't be able to see it. I might be able to, maybe I'll just fish the GoPro in there, maybe you can see it. Probably flipped you upside down as well. So down there somewhere there will be a bolt. It's somewhere here-ish. I don't know if you can see my finger or if you can see a bolt head just here, but that's what we're trying to get at down there. You can see, you know, the easy ones at the top, that was a nut just there, and maybe you can see the others. I'm not sure how well this is going to focus or video, but essentially you can see what I've done is I've just kind of, obviously the heat shield is loose, I can't get it out because of it's just jammed in there basically with the top of the header. So all that remains to be done tomorrow is to get that last little bolt off. I might try it now actually, just while the missus out, get some food in for dinner, and yeah, that's it for today, and we'll pick up tomorrow, and either I'll have that bolt out or I won't, and I'll be doing it tomorrow morning. So we'll catch you tomorrow and we'll continue with the job. That's it for now, guys. See you later. I still need to get the manifold off the engine, so all the bolts and nuts are off the back of the manifold itself, but there is one on the bottom. There's a little bracket. I'll show you that now because I didn't realise that was down there. I need my light. Try and light the situation a little bit up so you can see what we're doing. Sometimes the light casts shadows, it makes it worse. So this is the heat shield that was disconnected from the top of the manifold. What you'll see at the bottom here, at the bottom of the header there, can you see at the kind of 6 o'clock position there's a bolt hole? So you need to take that out. You take that out. This shows you, I'll probably show you the bracket here, easier. Let's get it steady. So obviously that's the back end of the header, and it's bolted onto this bracket here. That bracket bolts onto the back of your engine. I'm thinking that might need to come out, and that is secured by a couple more bolts just above the drive shaft there. Can you see them? So that one. I might have to take that bracket out entirely, because there's no facility on the new, there's no kind of mounting point on the new exhaust to put that back on. So that seems quite solid. I'm not sure what that's on, but yeah, that should come out now.
but I might have to take that bracket off just to give us a bit more wiggle room. So yeah, that might be next. So guys, a minute ago I was talking about removing this bracket here by getting to these 2 bolts. There's not a lot of space to get in there, and I think the only way to get in there is to remove this shield off the drive shaft. I've not seen anyone take this off in any videos, although I've not seen many videos doing this job, so crusty, okay. So there's another, as you would expect really. You can't see it, but where my hand is at the back of here, kind of wearing black gloves, not helping. But essentially, you see this bracket here. There's a bolt that goes into the engine. So that's going to be fun to get out. Yeah, fuck you. It's not really great viewing, is it? We can see the back of my hand. I'm going to carry on with this, guys, and I'll show you when it's out. So hopefully you can see that's come off now. Don't know if the gasket is still on there. Yeah. So the old gasket can come off as well. Alright, I'm going to try and wrestle this out now. I'm not sure whether this is going to come out the top or whether it's going to go out the bottom. So there's going to be some fighting. Okay guys, that was a fucking battle. So that heat shield that you probably could have seen on the back of the manifold, I've had to kind of flip it around, so the whole manifold upside down in the back of the engine, and get the rattle gun onto each one of the bolts. There's no other way that I could get to those. I'll tell you right now, this thing right here is the MVP. If you've not got one of these, don't even think about this job. Doesn't have to be an electric one, you can get air one, whatever. But yeah, if you think you're going to do this with hand tools, you got another thing fucking coming. But if you do manage it, you're an absolute masochist. I respect that. So that's a heat shield out, drop down the bottom. Might be the same for the manifold. How the fuck do you get this out? Ah, fucking catch me for. Drop under the car, see if I fucking pull it out. Ah. It's been an absolute cunt of a day. Everything that could go did go wrong. So there's the heat shield off the back. You can get the bin. We can see the Mani there. Hello. So we need to start trying to get that fucker out somehow. I don't know if it's got to go behind the subframe this way, through this gap here, maybe. We'll find out. But I'll try and leave the video rolling and capture the glorious moment. And my god, it will feel glorious. I've wasted half this morning. Fuck all. Anything that could go did go wrong. It's gonna come out the top. Oh man, this is defeating me now. love working on cars. This is so fun. Take it back. It's like there's always fucking something odd getting in there. I got jammed them up. Ta-da! Go fuck yourself. Right, so I've managed to manipulate that through this gap here. It would have been ideal to have moved this entirely, but I couldn't get to the other bolt. I probably can now. I still can't see it. I assume it's up here somewhere. But anyway, you can wrestle your manifold out through this gap between your drive shaft and your subframe without having to do... Well, you have to remove all the heat shields. It won't come out with the heat shields on, but with the heat shields off, you can indeed remove that piece of shit. Look at it. It's fucking laughing at me. Fuck you.